We are joined by a very, very, very funny man. You got so many funnies there. Greg Proops. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, Big J.
How are you?
I'm real well. How's the Big Sky Country?
Big Sky Country is good. It's awesome. Things are looking good. You guys were here a few years ago, right, with the Who's Line crew?
We were, in fact, well remembered. Thank you. Yes, we went and did karaoke in Billings.
I know. You were down at the Crystal Lounge, if I
Absolutely,
recall.
man.
Yeah. I'm sure you remember that.
It's like you living my life with me.
I know. I'm totally creepy and following you around. I've got some questions just to make sure we don't miss it. Let's talk about the show that you're actually calling to promote here. Green Room with Paul Provenza on Showtime. And on the show, so essentially the show is a bunch of comedians, really funny comedians, that get together and you just make each other laugh. That's kind of the gist of it?
That's the whole show, man. And isn't it wild? I'm so proud of Paul for getting it on TV because it's such a great premise and it really works. It really is funny and you don't need a script and you don't need directors and you don't need television executives telling you they know what the public likes. You just have four comics in a room getting it going.
I think that's probably how it got on TV. Was they're like, it sounds kind of weird. And he's like, yeah, but we don't need any budget for directors or writers. And they're like,
right.
Perfect.
There is no writers. And it's really freeing that way and very free form. Last week they had Ray Romano and Gary Shanley, and tonight's episode is me and Kathy Griffin. And Franklin Ajayi, who's a veteran comedian, and Dana Gould, who used to produce The Simpsons and is enormously funny.
That's an awesome crew, like cast of guys there. And here's the weird thing, too. Is this every episode or just tonight, but that you guys actually enjoy some marijuana and smoke a joint on the show?
It became very much the Green Room on our episode. Paul said to me in the middle of the show, would you smoke a joint on TV? And I said, sure. The one was produced from the crowd. I'm pretty sure it was a medicinal one because of its intense origami folding. And then it was very powerful. And it got funnier. We got looser, and everybody jumped up and started dancing, and then Franklin started philosophizing, and at that point I took the joint away from him.
Yeah, that's time to go.
Because we didn't want to get into the less color part of it.
So that's not every episode. Like Ray Romano wasn't taking pulls off the joint. That was just tonight's episode.
Oh, no, it was just tonight's. It just happened on ours. And it was very spontaneous. It wasn't planned at all. When I walked in that night, I had no bloody idea what was going to happen. I didn't realize I was going to get high during the show and not after.
Yeah, that's kind of a switch for a comedian.
It was a break with tradition.
What else is going on in life, Greg? So the show tonight, by the way, everybody should check it out. The Green Room with Paul Provenza. Cool concept, great comedians, and it's on tonight on Showtime. What else is going on in the career other than this?
I'm off for Montreal for the comedy festival next week, and then I have a podcast that I do, which is all the comics are doing them. It's our way of kind of giving free material to the crowd every week, and it's called The Smartest Man in the World, and you can find it on iTunes or proopcast.com. And like I say, it's totally free to download. I do it live all over. I'm doing it in Montreal, then San Francisco, then Edinburgh at the festival there. And then in Austin at an Out of Bounds festival. So I'm trying to do it as many places as I can. I did it in Australia and New Zealand this year as well, so I've done it in about 5 countries this year.
That's very cool.
And it's really fun. I just sit down with a microphone and a glass of vodka and start talking, and hopefully I'm funny. And like I said, it's free to come to, and it's free to listen to. So it's really a groovy, if you don't mind me using the word groovy, and I don't think you do in Montana.
No,
although it's more like being in Missoula. It's a groovy way to really shorten the distance between me and the audience.
That's very cool.
Really get right to them,
And so how do you, if you don't mind me asking, like you said, all the comedians are doing these podcasts. How do you guys profit from these? Do you have to get a sponsor? Or, where does money come from on podcasting? I don't understand that.
Me neither. I'm supposed to be moderating a panel on, I almost called it prodcasting, on podcasting in Montreal called the Podfathers, and we're going to have Mark Maron on, who does WTF, which is an enormously popular podcast, Paul F. Tompkins, and Kevin Smith's partner, who does the Smodcast. And I'm moderating it, and I don't make a dime off mine.
So yours is truly just for the fans.
I don't charge people to come to it, and I don't charge people to download it. Yes, I am looking for a sponsor for mine, so if anyone in Montana would like to sponsor my podcast,
I'll do it.
For me, it's just a way to disseminate the comedy and get people to know me in a different way. I think it's enormously important, so I'm willing to take that hit. I can make money playing in clubs and doing gigs and things like that. It's basically like putting on a free album every week for me, because I kind of make up a whole hour worth of stuff.
That's
and
cool.
it's just fun. I don't know how to explain it to you. Well, I did, I think, Jay.
Yeah, you did kind of explain it. I was wondering, I mean...
as my manager, of course, is going crazy, like all managers in LA, going, and you'll love this word that they use in Hollywood. How do we monetize this?
Oh, yeah, I'm in radio, so I understand that.
Yeah, you know when the program director comes in and goes, how do you monetize this?
Exactly.
That means we're not making enough money off of it. But at this point, I don't think it's about money. I think a few years down the line, it'll probably turn into money. But what you don't want it to do is turn into network TV, dare I say that?
Yeah, you
because
can totally
then it becomes a committee, and then you can smell the funny going away, if you know what I mean. You go to see movies sometimes and you think, God, that was predictable, and it's because you can actually smell the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to just people doing what they want to do. And that's why the Green Room show is so groovy. There's like I said, we were given a terrible latitude. We could do whatever we wanted.
That's awesome. It's so good to see that. I wonder if that's like your improv roots shining through. Like you just like things to be organic and natural and just like let funny happen without having to put restrictions on it and change it and punch it up. Like just the honest, true comedy there, which I think is brilliant. We have an improv group here.
Jay, that's really I agree with you. I think it is. I think it's a natural inclination to just let's go and see how funny we can make it, as opposed to let's really think about this until the funny's all gone.
It's somebody...
you can't try to please everyone. You have to just do what you want. I know there's people who don't want my comedy, and I'm happy with that. I wish they did, but you can't make everybody,
Exactly. So true. Are you still doing Drew Carey's new improv show on GSN?
I am. I'm on Improvaganza. We're on the Game Show Network. We wanted to get together and put it on a network that we would be sure that no one would watch it, and I think we've accomplished that.
What's weird about it, this is like a weird side note, but we have an improv group here in town. We have a show tonight, actually, but so I watched the show, and I TiVo it, I DVR it and record it, and for some reason, it records every episode like it's new. So I'll go in there, and there will be like 98 episodes of Improvaganza, and I can't delete them all at once. I have to go through, delete every one.
And we're on every bloody night.
Yeah. So for people that DVR your show, it like takes over. It's like a virus that takes over your TV with improv.
Oh my God, that's terrible. We have to do something about that.
Yeah, talk to Drew about that. Give him a call.
I'm gonna
ask him to fix it. Well, Greg, it's been great talking to you. Hopefully, we can talk to you again in the future about something. But tonight, people can check you out on Showtime, The Green Room with Paul Provenza, featuring you and Kathy Griffin and a bunch of other funny comedians. Or I guess by a bunch, I mean 2 more. And it's on tonight on Showtime. Greg Proops, thanks so much for joining us, man. Have a great morning.
Thank you, Big J. That's awesome of you. Appreciate it, man.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
The Big J Show. Weekday mornings from 6 till 10 on Billings' #1 hit music station, Hot 101.9.